My name is Anthony Neidig. This is FTE 217, week 7 assignment. All right, so for part 1, we're going to talk about when trigger work should be performed. It's kind of one of those areas that if it needs to be performed, you should do it. Replacing a mil-spec trigger with a drop-in trigger. If you are having issues with your trigger pull, might be a broken spring, might be a broken hammer, things like that. So that's when you would perform trigger work. If it's not done correctly, things like trigger pull, the weight, if it's too low, the ref could go off, things like that. So it just could become a safety concern. All right, so detail inspection of rifle. So first, always just make sure muzzle brake's good to go. Check your barrel, check your gas tube, things like that. Make sure there's no damage to anything. Trigger itself, make sure it's all there. If you're to open it up, you want to check the fire control group, inspect all your springs, make sure that they're still intact. All the pieces inside, like the disconnector switch, the hammer, make sure nothing's broken. For the top, the bolt carrier group, make sure like the ejector isn't chipped, the extractor is not chipped. Firing pin, the tip is still kind of rounded off, things like that. That's what you're going to look for in a detailed inspection. Okay, so for part 3, the safety, things you want to make sure safety works. Want to make sure that when it's on safe, you can't fire the weapon at all. When it is on, fires. The bolt, make sure you can move the safety. So for part 4, it says, what do you think, or what do you believe would be the easiest and most difficult parts of making repairs and alterations to the AR? A lot of things on the AR platform are really easy to repair. A lot of it you really don't even repair, you just get new parts and replace them. Alterations, I think for me personally, one of the things to modify would be the gas system. Tuning a rifle if it's more like a competition rifle kind of things. Like the handguard, replacing floating handguard, it's pretty easy. It's just, take the screws out of the bottom, slide it off, slide the new one back on. If you're gonna replace a barrel, just take the barrel nut off and replace the barrel, put the barrel back on. The trigger firing group, super easy to do. You can usually do it within 10 minutes. Like on mine, I've already put in the ambidextrous safety. It took a couple minutes to do. There's just so many different things that are easy to do on this platform. And a lot of it is, just replacing parts. They're all pretty much plug and play. Like a feeding issue, the feed ramp going into the barrel, it's something that would take some practice to do. You're always gonna wanna, polish down the barrel part, not the upper receiver part. Switching out stocks, grips, things like that, they're all super easy to do.